Hello guys, today I'm going to show you how to make this render. So let's begin. First, I am going to the asset browser and type glass. We will scroll down and take the glass 7. I will delete the material, I will rename it just glass. Then I will go to my render settings to the output and change my resolution to 1080 for both of them to make it a square. Now I will create a camera, and for the focal length I will go with 1, 3 and 5. I will set my camera like that for the moment. And now I will create a dome light. For the HDRI, I found a good one on Polyhaven, who is a website giving free HDRIs. If you want to use this one as well, I will put a link in the description. I will then start my render view. So now I think it's too bright, so I will reduce the exposure and I will rotate the dome light to maybe something like that should be good. I like to have the light coming from the left back because we are doing liquid, and in the liquid we will have some object, so I think it's better to have the light coming from the back. So now I'm going to put the light in the light folder, the camera in the camera folder, and the glass in the object folder. Now I will create my glass shader. So I'm going to take a Redshift standard material, so that one, and I put that on my object. So to create a glass material, you just need to disable the color, zero the roughness, and set the transmission weight to 1. And now we have our glass. I will rename it glass, and I will close the asset browser. I will stop my render view, and now I want to create the liquid. So for that, I will go out of my camera. I will, if you don't have the lines here, just press N and B to have the line. I will select my object, my glass. I will go to my edge mode and double click on this edge. Then press U and F to make a fill selection, right click and split. Like that, you have two different objects, the liquid and the glass. I will rename it liquid. I will hide the glass. I will go back to my edge mode, press T, then press Ctrl and drag, right click and collapse to close the shape. Now I want to make the edge of the liquid have a little bend, because if we see some reference, if you watch some reference, you will see that the liquid on the glass is not perfectly flat. So for that, I am going to press M and L to make a cut here and here. I will go back to my polygon mode and press U and L to make a loop selection. So like that, we can do that and maybe scale it a bit. And now by selecting the liquid and pressing Alt, click on the subdivision surface to make it like that. So now we have a little bend, so it's going to be good. Right now I don't like the topology of it, so I'll go back to my liquid. I will press Q to disable subdivision surface, and I will delete this polygon. I will go to my edge mode and select by double clicking like that. Then I will go to my close polygon hole and click here and set the polygon type to grid. Right, like that, it's much better. So now I will take my polygon mode and just Control All to see that we have a purple color. It means that the normal are not facing on the right way. To correct that, you just need to right click on reverse normal. You need to be careful about the direction of your normal because it will have an impact on the render of your liquid and glass. So now I can enable my glass, go back to my render view, and set my camera like that. I will delete this material because it's a glass material. I will duplicate the glass texture that we made and rename that liquid. And the liquid will go in the subdivision surface. I will rename that liquid. And to make a liquid, you just need to change the IOR to 1.333. And now we have the liquid. I will change the color of the transmission to make it an orange color. So I think 25 is good, maybe, but 35, like that. So now what I want to do is create a sun and sky rig to make a background. I will disable the dome light background, and I will just rotate the sun and sky to like minus 130. I will then go to the horizon 8 and decrease the value to have the background. You can also increase the red blue shift to add some orange to it if you want. If you increase it, you will see the color. I will just put 0.1. For the sun, I will set the sun intensity to 0. Now, what I want to do is create some condensation on the glass. For that, I paid a texture that you can find on the internet. I will put a link in the description. It's very cheap. It's like $1. So, and the texture are very high quality, and you can also use it for a lot of different projects. So I recommend it to buy this texture. So for me, I will take the bump and the roughness map. So there's two. And I will select both of them and set the color space. It's very important to set it to raw. Now I will take my normal and press C to make it directly to the output to see the result. If you don't have this shortcut, you just need to go to the window, customization, command manager, type output, and here you have connect not to output, and just put whatever shortcut you want. So now we don't want that. It's because if we go back to our glass, we will see that the projection is spherical. We want this to be cubic. Then we need to decrease the size of it, so I will put 15. Don't forget to select both of them, and I will make some rotation, maybe like that. It's good. So now I will press Shift and C and type bump, and I will connect my bump map to the texture input, and the bump map will go in the geometry bump input. Don't forget to put the input map type of to tangent space normal. Then connect that to the surface. Now we have some condensation. Now for the roughness, I will press Shift and C and take a ramp. The ramp will go in the input, and I will press C again. So it's not normal. When one shift do that, you just need to refresh, and like that is good. So in the roughness, white values will drive the reflectivity. So same for the black value, but a white value will be less reflective than a black value. And here we want this part. So the liquid, so the water dripping down the glass, we want this to be very reflective because it's water. Compared to the glass, we have some condensation, so it's less reflective. So for that, I'm going to the ramp and invert this two. I will maybe add some more to it, some more black, by doing maybe like that, and I can decrease the white value to maybe 75. Oh no, 25, 25. There is too much white. I will then take the ramp, put that in the reflection roughness, and connect the standard material. So now we need to refresh again to see the result. Okay, I think it's good. Now I don't want the bump on the roughness to be on the top and on the bottom. I just want to have the bump where the liquid is. So for that, I will press Shift and C again and use a UV projection node. I will then use a ramp as well. I will connect the ramp and increase the contrast to something like that. I will put the ramp in the texture color and I will connect my UV projection to the output to see the result. I will then, in the UV projection, put the scale to 0.1, 0.1 and 0.1. And I will, I think, decrease the offset. Okay, like that, it's good. So now, in the UV projection, you will understand that the white value will be where the bump is. So we don't want a setup like this. We want to be inverted between the white and black values. So we just need to do that. So like that, we have here bump and here it's clear. I just need to, I think, do that. I will check where the liquid is. So it's, I think, a bit higher. Yeah, a little bit like maybe 1.11. Okay, we're good. I will put the UV projection to the texture scale. And now we only have bump here. We want to do the same thing for the bottom. So it will be fast for that one because we just need to add a color layer. We'll put the first UV projection to the base color. I will duplicate both of them. Then I will take my UV projection and connect it to the output to see the result. Now we want this to be black and that to be white. We want here to be black because we don't want bump on the bottom part. So for that, I will invert the ramp again and I will do something like that. And I will, I want something less contrasted, so something like that should be good. Then the second UV projection should be on the layer color 1, and now connect the color layer to the surface, to the output to see the result, and put the blend mode to multiply. And now the black part will be, there will be nothing, so it's what we want. I will put the RS color layer in the scale and connect my standard material. I will refresh it. And now here it's clear, so we're good. I will do the same thing for the roughness. So I will press Shift and C and add a color layer, connect the roughness to the base the ramp, this ramp here to the base color, connect the base color to the output to see the result. Then the color layer that we made earlier, we are going to connect this to the layer 1 color and set the blend mode to multiply. And now it's what we want. I'll then put this color layer in the reflection roughness and I will refresh it, and now we're good. I think I will just try to move my angle camera to something like that. Okay. Now what I want to do is add an area light to the back, because here I think it's a bit too dark, and when we will add some food and object inside, the area light will help us a lot to make it more bright. But before I'm doing that, I will just reduce the bump because I think it's too powerful. So to do that, you just need to go to the first ramp of the UV projection, and the white values is what it's driving the power of the bump. So I'm just going to put like 75, and now the bump is less powerful, and now we're good. So I will here lock my camera, and I will create an error light. I will rotate it to 180, decrease the size to maybe something 16, move it to the top, rotate it, something like that should be good. And now I'll put like a value of 10, and you will see the difference. Here it's not making any difference, but you will see later when we add some ice cube that it's going to be more bright. So now what I want to do is create some bubble inside the liquid. For that, I will just, before that I will make some cleaning here. I will create a sphere. In the sphere radius, I will put that to 0.05. I will select my sphere on pressing Alt, click on the cloner. I will put the mode to object, and in the object, I will select my liquid. I will hide my glass to see more clearly. So now, as we can see, there is no sphere inside, so no bubble inside, but at the surface. To correct that, you just need to go to the cloner, set the distribution to volume, and now everything is inside. I will put my instance mode to render instance because we'll have a lot of bubble. I will put like 1500. And as you can see, there is some sphere who are sticking out, and we don't want that. To correct that, I will duplicate the liquid, rename that cloner liquid, hide it, select the cloner back, and in the object, we will put the cloner liquid. And now you just need to select the liquid, press T, and scale it down. And now everything is inside. So now I want to do to add some randomness to the bubble. So I'm going to add a random. Don't forget to select the cloner before adding the random. So it can be here instantly. So I will disable the position, enable the scale, uniform scale, and put like 0.6 in value. I will select my cloner back, take a shader to add some randomness even more. So I will put in the scale -1, so everything disappears. And the shader, I will put the noise, and I will go with the turbulence. And in the contrast, I will put 99, and for the global scale, maybe 20, maybe 18. I say 18 is good. So now it's even more random. If I disable it, you will see that I think it's much better like that. And one last thing that I want to do with the bubble, it's if we check here, we will see that bubbles are like are the same size, but I want the bubble at the bottom to be smaller compared to the one at the top. So to do that, I will just take a plane, disable the position, enable the scale, uniform scale, and for the scale I will go -1, and I will create an inner field. I will set the direction to that one and put the length to 2%. Then, if I put that here, you will see that here the bubbles are smaller and here they are bigger. So it's what we want, and I will set it a bit like that. I think it's good. Okay. So now I want to create some bubble shader. So for that, I will duplicate the liquid. I will rename that bubble, and I will zero the saturation, and I will put that on the cloner. So now it's not so much visible. I will just put my glass back. So now it's not so much visible. So to correct that, you just need to decrease the AOR to maybe a value of 0.8. I think it's good like that. Maybe even. Okay, I think we're good with that. So now we can start to put some object inside. So we have the base of it. So now you can add everything you want in it. So for me, I have my object that I will enable right now. So what I put inside was red grapes, some plant, ice cube, and a lemon. So as you can see, I think the result is pretty good. So I will show you how I have done that. So I will disable everything except the red grapes. So where did I find this one? So you just need to go to Quixel Bridge, who is a free app. You just need to have Epic Games account, so it's free, and you have everything inside, like 3D model. You have plant, you have materials, you have imperfection, you have everything you want if you are doing 3D. So yeah, you just need to have this grep. Just need to go to bridge and type fruit, and you will see directly. So what I have done with this fruit is, if we check the shader, you will see that I put a color correction, and the color correction is connected to the MS Color. MS Color, it's the subsurface. Yes, I added some subsurface to the fruit, so like that we have you have the area light on the sun and sky, and the dome light, which is coming from behind, so there is light coming through, so it's more realistic. Also, this color correction helped to add some details to the subsurface. Then I decided to add a lemon slice. For the lemon slice, it was a free asset that you can find on Sketchfab. I will put a link in the description. So for that one, what I did was the same that with the red grapes. So I added a color correction. I increased the contrast to like 0.6 and 5, put the subsurface to 1 and the scale to 0.3. I will go back to my grep to show you the value. So here was 1.74, here was 0.7, and for the subsurface it was 1 for the weight and 0.4 for the scale. Then I did some plant, so plant who can be found also in bridge. So for that one, what I did was I think, yes, decrease the gamma, because if the gamma was something like this, so it's a bit dark, so yes, I put 0.1. Yes, there is some bug, but with Redshift you just need to refresh the render. Okay. Then I added the same plant, but with the gamma with now 0.8. Refresh. Okay. And lastly, I added an ice cube. Ice cubes here. So how did I did this ice cube? I will show you directly. I will hide all my object, and I will take that and put that in my object. I'll create a square, maybe of 1 centimeters. I'll put that here. So how I have done that is I first added a fillet to it. So it was something like that. I did some segment like 10, 10, and 10 to add a displacer. So wait, I'm going to take the exact value of the displacer. It was, wait, I'm going to copy the shader, paste the shader, and here was what 0.032. Here I'm going to put the value here, and yes, it's just to add a little imperfection. For the ice cube shader, so I created a new one. I first used a max and noise to create the bump on the roughness. So I will use a ramp to control the roughness and go to here, connect that to the output. Here it's too big, so I put that to yes 0.0.1. On the max and noise, I will go with turbulence. I will increase the contrast to something like that, and I will I don't like the white values to be that white, so I'll put decrease it to something like that. Let's check the result. Reflection roughness. Oh yeah, I forgot, but here you just need to disable the base color, and here I put an area of 1.3 and 1 and enable the transmission. So right now there is not a big difference, so I need to increase the white value. Okay, I think like that is good. Then I created a bump map, and now you need to put the max and noise in the input and the geometry bump input. And like that, I think I can decrease the value to 0.1 or maybe even smaller, something like 0.3. I think like that is good. And what I did was I just added a little tint of blue to it, something like that. So we don't need to be very precise with this shader because it's in the liquid, so it's not so visible. So yeah, I will delete that. I will put back my clone my object, clone, and I will go back to my camera and see the result. So yeah, we are coming to the end. What I can show you that this is you can do a lot of things with that. So like I said, you can add different fruit, different object inside. You can add a straw. You can add, I think, everything you want. And with a backlight and with some subsurface, it would look good. You can also go to the liquid and go to the transmission. Here you need to refresh to change the color of the liquid. Maybe put a blue color, or I don't know, maybe a green. So yeah, you can have a lot of control to it. You can also go to the RS and sky to change the color of the background by adding some red blue shift. Maybe you can go to 0.2 to add some more orange, 0.4 or maybe 0.2 to have a more bluish color. Then go on the transmission, have a blue color here. So yeah, you can do a lot of different things. I will just go back to my original color, and here I will set that to 0.2. So we can do a little post-effects to it, like maybe add a bit of contrast and a bloom, and now we are good. So yeah, thank you for watching the tutorial. I hope you have learned something. If you have any question, just drop a comment. I will try to answer it as quickly as possible. You can also reach me on Twitter or Instagram. I am very active on this platform. Thank you for following the tutorial, and see you.